Reacher Season 3, Episode 8, Unfinished Business, on Prime Video, wraps up the thrilling but occasionally slow third season in grand fashion. Reacher Season 3 lost some of its footing and momentum in the second half after an amazing first episode, especially with its slow Reacher Season 3, Episode 7. Fortunately, the majority of the Season 3 finale was exciting, captivating, and nearly unbelievably fulfilling. Zachary Beck joins forces with Reacher, Duffy, and Villanueva to save his likable but weak kid. But he ends up being more of a victim than a real Reacher Season 3 villain. In contrast to many of their other encounters, which have been emotionally charged and aggressive, it's good to see Duffy and Reacher working together at last. Duffy's one-dimensionality and passive aggression make her my choice for the worst Reacher sidekick of the series thus far, even though I liked her no-nonsense attitude in Season 3. After weeks of agonizing waiting, Reacher and Paulie finally fight like men with an amazing and inventive combat sequence. Paulie's underutilization and prolonged sizzling on the back burner is Reacher Season 3's worst tragedy. Thankfully, Paulie and Reacher's battle in the finale results in some of the season's greatest moments right away. Meanwhile, Neely is also brilliantly inserted into the finale episode as an undercover waitress, improving on the original ending of Lee Child's Persuader novel. Poor Villanueva never really had a chance against one of Quinn's guards in the beginning of the episode. He survived the season, which is shocking. One of the highlights of Reacher Season 3 must be Reacher escaping a chain-link noose and approaching Paulie with a garden rake, right in the middle of the Paulie versus Reacher fight. The action sequence was made more exciting by the underwater aspects of Paulie and Reacher's confrontation, which also served as the ideal means of, ostensibly, killing Paulie. It felt like Reacher had finally met his equal as he reappeared to put an end to it definitively in his security hut equipped with a wicked machine gun. Even though Paulie's physical might was ultimately outmatched by Reacher's intelligence, Reacher still had to do a double take to ensure that Paulie's beast was put down. Beck had Quinn exactly where he wanted him, but a cruel twist of events left him weakened, dying in a way that was somewhat selfless, and re-establishing his bond with his son at the earliest opportunity. When Quinn shoots and kills Beck with a dozen shots in the last minutes of Reacher Season 3, he is incredibly terrifying and ought to have given him a more honorable demise. But it would have been even more satisfying if Reacher had actually made Quinn pay for what he did to Dominique Cole. Reacher reminds Quinn of Dominique, which seems to break through his amnesia in his last seconds on Earth. It would have been more compelling if Quinn had said something after remembering Cole, but instead he accepted his fate with a point-blank shotgun blast to the face. Neely's addition with a dead hand grenade was satisfying and only made her character even more cool. Quinn was certainly a vicious antagonist, but his insane rage made him genuinely reprehensible and terrifying, almost to the extent of being a parody of a villain on television. Finding out about villains' motivations and distorted worldviews is one of the most fascinating parts of studying them. Quinn was just an insane businessman and a mercilessly savage murderer. He lacked all nuance and feeling. Even though Paulie was one-dimensional, he had the opportunity to see that Quinn wasn't worth fighting for, but he never did. Even though some narrative points are more cliched and disappointing, Unfinished Business gives plenty of excitement and memorable moments in a Reacher season that was depending on its antagonists to survive its last episode. Before Richard departs, Reacher summarizes their personal but not particularly intimate friendship and gives him some excellent advice. Although most of Duffy's spiel about relationships was superfluous, it was amusing to watch Reacher be gently disappointed. With Shine by Mondo Cosmo capping off the season on a positive note, Reacher riding a Harley through the twisting roads of coastal Maine was a lovely touch. Even though it played it rather safe, the Reacher Season 3 finale ultimately accomplished its goal. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.